Welcome to my channel, Enjoy Watercolour Painting, and my gallery here in southwest France. I'm Diana, I'm a watercolourist, and today's subject for the video is negative painting. Hopefully you've guessed that from the title and the little demo that we've just sped through at an alarmingly fast rate. But it's just to start you off on the right way of understanding what exactly is meant by negative, painting in the negative with watercolours. It's a subject that's cropped up in my classes here in the gallery, and I thought it was a worthwhile subject to cover in a video. So here we go. I have an image here of the River Tardois, which is a watercolour painted by me last year. And you can see that we have negative painting because we have this lighter area here created by the darker background. And this is the part of the picture that I'm focusing on today. And this is the initial version, which we sped through really quickly at the beginning of this video, just illustrating how we're going to create this lighter foreground by painting the darker background first. Now I want to cover this in more detail, not at the same alarming rate that we did already, and so I'm going to explain in more detail now and slower how we arrived at this point and how we're going to continue to create and retain the light, because watercolour is all about retaining the light, using the white of the paper to give us contrast and illumination in the painting. So stay with me please through all the different steps. Oh, and if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I really need your support, and it encourages me to carry on passing on the information that I know to help you to enjoy your watercolour painting. So let's start. Now I'm beginning with a simple sketch using watercolour crayons, outlining the riverbank, all the little fiddly bits of grass and herbage which are pushing up and are going to be our area which we want to retain the light of the paper, the white of the paper. I have the sketch. It's hard to see in this light, but you will see it as the paint starts to pick out the area. And you can see that I'm using a liner brush and a combination of Winsor Blue Green shade with transparent yellow, just to work my way along the line of the vegetation which is on top of the riverbank. And now I've gone to the other palette, which is Payne's Grey, Indian Red with a hint of burnt sienna as well, just to add some brown tones to the background. I've also, using the watercolour crayon, drawn the trunks of the trees which are in the background, because they're also being painted in the negative. And I'm using the liner brush just to go into the delicate areas, the very fine detailed areas with the paint. Now I'm not going to do too much before I then start to consolidate this and add a more watery mix of paint, washing the colour upwards towards the top of the paper. This is because I don't want an outline. I want the colour to blend, and further up in the image there are leaves on the trees and there's more information to apply. But for the moment I just want to wash it right up to the edge of the paper so that I have the possibility to add more paint later. And you can see the form of the trees emerging in the negative as white shapes, as is the vegetation on the bank. So this is the basis of negative painting, creating an image by painting the background. And this is what it's all about. We're using the white of the paper. We're not applying white paint. We're just making the image and then painting the background, and so the image emerges. Now, first of all, I'm carrying on where we left off, adding the mix of Windsor blue and transparent yellow, and also Payne's grey, Indian red, to the background between the trees. And you can see I'm using the same technique, doing the detail first of all with the liner brush and then washing the colour up. You can see the difference between the dry paint on the left hand side, which I did yesterday, and the colour we're applying now, but it will all dry to the same tone. In the right hand side of the image, the colour changes subtly and there are more greens, so I've added a lighter green as well. And you can see I'm using this medium mop brush just to take off a blob, which arrived, as they do, mopping up the water, because there is a little hint of a tree there, but it's just far away. But I do want this lovely mix of greens and blues. Now we have rocks along the riverbank, and again we're painting these in the negative just by adding the shadow colour, which is the Payne's grey, Indian red, almost black. And I'm trying to create the angle of the rocks by just adding the colour on their darker side and then washing the colour on the riverside into what will be the waterline. So I'm using the mop brush to move the colour and the little liner brush to apply it. So I'm juggling both brushes. You can see we apply the colour strongly along the angle of the rocks, then wash it into the water horizontally, adding a little hint of my blue-green colour because of course we will have the reflection from the background, and working the brush really dry so it leaves the white paper again shining through to give us that shimmer on the water. Now I'm just dibbling some of the yellow, green, blue mix to just add some colour to the bank, but not too much, because this is where the sunlight is shining through the trees, and this patch of light riverbank is in contrast to what surrounds it. So I just want the feeling for dappled light, and so I'm just dappling the colour on. But now I'm going in with the darker colour because this is the contrast. When you're painting in the negative, you have light and dark areas, the paper shining through to create the light, and the paint applied strongly to create our contrast, our dark shadow area. And this is it as it goes down to the riverbank. Of course, if this picture was to progress further, we would go in and consolidate some of the colours and redefine some of the areas, as I'm doing here with the shade colour on the rocks. Now I want to give you an idea of how to add colour to the trees without darkening them too much. So I've turned my paper slightly so I'm not smudging the wet paint. But I've applied colour to the right hand side of the tree trunk, which is just created in the negative, and then added colour and then just washed it across, leaving the lighter tones so we don't lose the light on these tree trunks. They have to stand out and be lighter. Otherwise, the effect of painting in the negative would be lost. Adding a little bit of greenery to the top of the picture now, but I'm not going to finish this picture. It's purely a demonstration on how we use the negative painting to create the effect. And there we have it. Well, that's painting in the negative in watercolour. I hope you found this video interesting and informative and inspirational too, so that you incorporate this process into your own painting. Till the next time, enjoy your watercolour painting. Thank you for watching. Bye.